Welcome everybody to your Matchday 12 predictions for MLS. Last weekend was a good weekend. We have US Open Cup midweek, and it's MLS related, but not MLS related. I have to say, let's go Riverhounds, who upset New England Revs in New England there on Tuesday night. But enough about that. Let's jump into Matchday 12. First off, we have Chicago Fire versus St. Louis City. Currently, Chicago Fire 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. And the same goes with St. Louis. They have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. They are playing at Soldier Field. I feel like St. Louis is definitely the stronger side than Chicago, but in recent form, we're looking at St. Louis City on a 2-game losing streak, and they did lose over the midweek to Chicago 2-1, and they're playing them again here in Matchday 12. But I think that St. Louis win this match on the road. I think that they win this match 2-1 over Chicago Fire. So that leads us into Atlanta United versus Charlotte FC. Currently, Atlanta are not doing very hot. They are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses, which is a 3-game losing streak. Not looking good. Whereas Charlotte, they are 4 wins and a loss in their last 5 matches. They're on a hard streak. The last time that these two teams played, though, Atlanta won on the road 3-0 over Charlotte. These two teams have never drawn in against each other. Atlanta have won twice. Charlotte has won once. Atlanta are playing there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm not sure if Giakoumakis is going to come back, but I think that Atlanta get it done at home over Charlotte. I think that it's hard to lose for them in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, even though they lost to Memphis 901C the last home game, but that was not at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So I think Atlanta get the job done here, 1-0 over Charlotte at Mercedes-Benz. So that leads us to the Canada matchup. We have CF Montreal versus Toronto FC. Currently, Montreal are on a 5-game winning streak, where Toronto is 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. These two teams did play over the midweek against each other in the Canadian Championship, and Montreal won that matchup on the road against Toronto 2-1. Montreal are on fire right now with that 5-game winning streak, and this game they are playing at home, and I think that they beat Toronto 2-1 there in Montreal. So that takes us to a matchup that is in the voting for potentially for a Saturday watch-along. We have Columbus Crew versus Orlando City. Currently, Columbus Crew are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5 matchups, where Orlando City are 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5, and they are currently on a 2-match losing streak. Orlando City haven't scored in their last 2 matches, and they go on the road to a very good Columbus Crew side at home. I don't think that they can get the job done here. I think that the Crew win at home, and I think that Orlando's scoreless streak continues, and I think that Columbus Crew win this matchup 2-0 at home. So next up, we have a matchup that I'm looking forward to, and that's DC United versus Nashville SC. Currently, DC United are 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5, and Nashville SC are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5. These two teams have played each other 4 times. Nashville has won 3 of them, and they've drawn 1. So DC United have not won in this matchup. Currently, DC, though, are on a 2-game losing streak, where Nashville are on a 3-game winning streak. I think that both of those come to an end in this matchup, and I hate to say it because I am a Nashville fan, but I think that DC United win this matchup by a slim margin, and I think that they win 1-0 there at Audi Field. So now we move down to Miami. We have Inter Miami versus New England Revolution. Currently, Inter Miami are 4 wins and a loss in the last 5. They are hot right now. And then you have New England Revs that are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5. Their loss did come midweek against the Riverhounds, like I said at the beginning of the video. These two teams have played each other 4 times. There has never been a draw. It is 2 wins for Miami, 2 wins for New England Revs. Do I think that the Revs losing to Pittsburgh is a huge thing? No, it's one of those things I feel like they didn't play their hardest, that kind of thing, because MLS teams, I feel like, think that they can just walk in and win some of these matches. I think Pittsburgh is a very good USL side, and I think that they deserve that win. And yes, Hill did play, Revs did play some of their really good players compared to what some of the MLS teams do, where they play a lot of their backups. But that's beside the fact. Inter Miami did win their midweek matchup in the U.S. Open Cup against Charleston Battery 1-0. And then they're coming off of a win against Atlanta over last weekend, 2-1, where Joseph Martinez scored 2 goals, and that's just going to set him off. So I think that he's going to start playing very well for them, and they have Capana playing very well at a top level. So we got to watch out for Miami. I think Miami has a very good chance to move up pretty quickly in the East, and I could see them being in the top 5. But for this matchup, we will see our first draw. I think that this match ends in a 2-2 draw there in Miami. So that leads us to the New York showdown. We have the Red Bulls versus NYCFC. Currently, the Red Bulls are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5 matches, where NYCFC are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. I think if both of these teams would be doing a little bit better, this would have been the matchup to watch this weekend. But in the Supporters' Shield, you have NYCFC in 10th place, and you have Red Bulls way down there in 27th place. They only have 9 points on the season. To be honest, I think that at the beginning of the season, I would have told you that the Red Bull would be doing better than NYCFC at this point in time in the season, but I have been proven wrong big time on that. But they're playing at the Red Bull Arena. I know that the Red Bulls usually struggle there. They did win last weekend against DC United, but I believe that this matchup is going to end in a draw. I think that this match will end in a 1-1 draw between the Red Bull and NYCFC. So next up is the showdown in Texas, which I believe that this will probably be the game that we end up watching on the live stream. The voting is still live, so I'm not going to hold this game. I'm not announcing the game during this video because I'm making the video a little bit early due to some plans that I have that I can't make it when I usually make it. So we have Austin FC versus FC Dallas. Currently, Austin are horrible. They're 12th place in the West there, and I'm very surprised by it. But anyway, they are 3 draws and 2 losses in their last 5. You have FC Dallas with 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5. Austin drew with Portland at Providence Park last weekend, 2-2, where FC Dallas went on the road and drew with Minnesota United 0-0. This is going to be a tough matchup for me, and it'll be a good matchup, I think. I think it's going to be a good game. I hope that we see goals, though. And it's one of those things, I think it's going to be close until the end. And I think that FC Dallas go in and win at Q2 Stadium 3-1 with a late goal to seal the deal. Moving on, we have Houston Dynamo versus Seattle Sounders. Currently, the Dynamo are 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5, where Seattle Sounders are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. Currently, Seattle set 3rd in the West, where Houston set 13th. I think Houston's actually doing... I can't believe that... And that's in the Supporters' Shield. I apologize that it's the 3rd and 13th. There in the West, it's actually Seattle's in 1st and Houston is 6th. They're doing a lot better this season than what I thought that they were going to be for Houston. And they're going to put up a fight here against Seattle. And I know that last week Seattle lost to a very poor Sporting Kansas City side at home. But I don't see them losing 2 matches in a row, even though they are away for this match. But I think Seattle go into Houston and win 1-0 over the Dynamo. So that leads us into Sporting Kansas City versus Minnesota United. Currently, Sporting Kansas City are 2 wins, 3 losses in their last 5, and Minnesota United 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. Minnesota lost midweek to Philadelphia Union in the U.S. Open Cup, and then they lost over the weekend against Vancouver Whitecaps 3-2 on the road, and Sporting Kansas City went on the road and upset Seattle Sounders. This was a tough one for me because both of these teams are struggling a little bit and really struggling a lot. I know that Kansas City have had a lot of injuries, but I think that we might start seeing a little bit different Sporting Kansas City moving forward, because them beating Seattle that's a big confidence booster, and I actually think that they win this match 2-1 over Minnesota United at home. So next up, we have Colorado Rapid versus Philadelphia Union. Currently, Colorado Rapid are 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5, where Philadelphia Union are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. These two teams did play over the midweek. Colorado Rapids beat Sacramento Republic 4-2, where Philadelphia Union lost in PKs against Minnesota United. So I think earlier in the video, I said Minnesota United lost. They actually beat Philadelphia Union, but it is what it is. The Foot Mob had it incorrect. Colorado Rapid are currently on a good form, and Philadelphia are still very inconsistent, but I think that Philadelphia go on the road and get a point here against Colorado, and I think this matchup ends in a 1-1 draw. So next up, we have Real Salt Lake versus LAFC. Currently, Real Salt Lake are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5. LAFC are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5. LAFC did play in the midweek in the U.S. Open Cup against Monterey Bay, and they had to go the distance. They went to PKs. They did win, but man, they should have not had to go to PKs with Monterey Bay. They did have to go to Monterey Bay, so that's also a difficult thing. But then they lost over the weekend against San Jose Earthquake 2-1 on the road. Real Salt Lake, though, last week did draw against Houston 0-0, and I don't think, was it last week or was it the week before? I can't remember. But their last match, they drew 0-0 with Houston Dynamo. Here, I think LAFC are just a better squad than Real Salt Lake, and I don't think that they're going to lose back-to-back MLS matches. And I think that LAFC go on the road here and win this match 2-0 over Real Salt Lake. So our last match on Saturday is Portland Timbers versus Vancouver Whitecaps. Currently, Portland Timber are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5, where Vancouver Whitecaps are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5 matches. Portland are getting better as the season goes on, in my opinion. Vancouver Whitecaps are also looking pretty good, but not on the same level as Portland. They are playing at Providence Park. You guys know how much I speak highly of Providence Park. I think that Portland are really good there, and I think that they get the job done at home over the Whitecaps, and I think that they win this match 3-1. So for our lone match and last match of the weekend, there on Sunday, we have LA Galaxy versus San Jose Earthquake. The LA Galaxy, 1 win, 4 losses in the last 5. The Galaxy are not looking good still. San Jose, though, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. They're coming off of a big win against LAFC at home, 2-1. I don't think that they can go on the road and beat the other LA team, but I don't think the Galaxy will beat San Jose. I actually think that this matchup ends in a 2-2 draw there in LA. So that is it for the video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like the content, and I can't wait for the live stream on Saturday. I look forward to those every week. So until Saturday, we'll see you then.